Hi, good morning. In this lesson, we will try to become familiar with the main terminologies because it is correct to understand that there are words of international caliber that are useful for our knowledge. What do I mean? Let's start with a simple dialogue, obviously exaggerated between two web marketing experts. Between SEM and SEO, we have chosen the second solution because we believe it is important to be present in the SERP for a certain query in a very natural way. All right, we will optimize in your source code all the tags required by spiders in order to make our writing useful to the crawler of engine. A nice situation that explains how important it is to know the main terminologies. Let's start from the two most important absolute acronym, SEO and SEM. SEM is the acronym of Search Engine Marketing, or the combination of all those actions used to best set up a positioning strategy through paid campaigns, also known as PPC or pay per click. SEO is the acronym of Search Engine Optimization, or the combination of all those actions useful to make your website SEO oriented, which is the logic of the course. Let's get to know query and SERP. The query is technically the request that we type in the Google search bar, so query and keyword is synonymous to each other. SERP is the acronym of Search Engine Result Page, or respond pages with result order from first to the last that the engine brings to us. Let's say the classic Google pages where the first is the most coveted. Now let's find out the two common words that are synonymous and very often used to indicate the search engines that are crawler and spider. Crawler is synonym that we can translate as tracks like those of tanks, a nice comparison to define the mechanical power of a software in use with a search engine that helps us to understand the strength of a software that in a fraction of a second can scan sites all over the world looking for a few words and disposes them in order from the first to the last second of the calculation logic. The spider, intended just as the arachnid, is another nice comparison with which the software of a search engine is defined and which sees the network as a large web of information within which search engines move quickly in search of their prey. Now we move on where they are looking and how they look, the information in engine, or the two technical terms that are the tags and the source. Tags are labels that have different functions in programming, a very important which is also to indicate to the engines the importance and of the use of the content. In this course, you will understand how the organic positioning through content writing. It is also reason and above all through the correct use and compilation of some fundamental tags. The source code is the environment in which our spiders move and holding the whole of our tags. Now, without going into much detail on the composition of a web page source, let's move on our pages to know the origin of the name of very important formats, and those are HTML and XML. HTML is the acronym for Hypertext Markup Language. It is the language that makes up our web pages or the language through which we construct a page. It will not be important for us to know how to program in HTML to be a good SEO specialist, but we will have to learn how to keep order and cleanliness within our source code. Having an ordered source code is important and valuable. XML is the acronym for Extensible Markup Language. If the first is the language that builds our contents, XML is the language through which we communicate them. For example, the XML is the programming language of the map of our site, a very useful instrument for the semantic communication that we will later be able to communicate with. This lesson is useful for you to start testing your knowledge. Now, let's get moving for one of the most interesting lessons that will help us understand the history and evolution of search engines from the past to the present. Thank you. Bye.